Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you're listening to Fun with Bob and Lynn.
Fun with Bob and Lynn. Welcome.
I'm Bob.
I'm Lynn.
And together we're...
Bob and...
Lynn.
That's us.
Yes. And if you're a longtime listener, and who of you aren't, you'll notice this is different. This is different theme music.
Yeah.
And this is well, you should talk about what this is really about. But because we're starting on a regular nights, which we're going to talk about all this, and we're just doing this right from this point on. No more haphazard Fun with Bob and Lynn whenever when no one listens because they don't know we're doing it every Tuesday night at 7. But basically, it came down to a copyright issue. We need music that we...
No one would pull us aside, I don't think, and go, oh my gosh, how come you're using this particular song? But you know what? We said, okay, we'll use original music. This is a temporary laydown for music that we will use. It'll be specifically ours and branded for us. But for now, here you go. So that was the way we got to start. But we get to kick it off. And now this is our official. We have been doing for over a year, 2 years. Yep. We have over 50 podcasts and radio shows that we've done. And bringing you inside our adventures, whether that's making dehydrated kale, going to the Grand Canyon to revisit something that I'd been 40 years ago, or driving cross country as Bob moved from Atlanta to L.A., and stopping in Memphis and Oklahoma for a poetry reading, to Sedona where we spoke. We took you with us on these adventures, and also just in everyday life, just talking about benign things. One time I'm driving by a market, I pull in and I look to my side, and there is a full-dressed clown looking at my mirror wanting to ask me a question. And this all happened while we were doing our radio show. So we have... and we even took you with us on Halloween 2 years ago as we went down in West Hollywood and just, you cannot believe the adventures. So there's much to listen to in the archives, but we said, you know what? Instead of like doing a radio show whenever it feels like, let's have a steady once a week show that we do. Live, preferably, if need be, pull from our archives or do it pre-recorded. But we're going to now be regularly doing these, and we'd love to invite you to join us because this is just a fun little forum, a fun forum.
Right. Who wouldn't want to hear us talk about our day?
I know.
I mean,
so highly
like
entertaining.
Right. It's the greatest entertainment that money can buy.
And since it's free,
well, it's doubly so.
You ain't buying it.
That's exactly what they're saying. I'm not buying this. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Okay, so
now we officially started. That was a lot of preface, but
yeah. And so I guess we just get back into just doing what we always do.
Look, I had this thing hanging out from my hat.
See, this is exactly what you can expect.
Just a random about nothing.
So here's one thing that's very different about this particular program is that we do want you to participate. Most of the time, honestly, I think we truly probably have more broadcasts that are Hi,
how are you?
Good. That are recorded than we actually did live because well, we got into this thing where basically Lynn has a potty mouth. That's really what it boils down to, and you just never know what she's going to say. I know you're tempted. Just be good.
No.
Please be good, just for this one.
That's insulting. See, I didn't say it. I was going to say it.
No. Just because a lot of times, because it is such basically a personal. That was a sound effects. Please just know.
What?
All right, so.
They liked it. Thank you.
So Lynn again,
right?
if you've been listening for the past 2 years, you know that Lynn is notorious for her sound effect addiction. If you're going to do it, you may as well put it up to the mic where they can actually...
Well, they can hear... Ow!
Oh, she
they can
dropped
hear
it. All right.
I think it's funny.
She sure does, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I've been known to laugh at it on occasion, but I've also been known to not laugh at it on many more occasions. The point being, what I was saying is the reason that we would normally record the show is because it is often a very intimate look into our lives, and we're like, we really want to put this out there? And
we go, we're putting it out there. Whatever.
Yeah. But there's still a lot that we haven't put out there. But there's all sorts of reasons for that. I think eventually they'll all go out there, or at least 95%. But the ones that we're going to do live, I've asked Lynn, let's just try to,
What? What did you ask me?
So it can be a family show.
Really?
It's never going to fly. I
You
know.
don't want me to freaking,
Right.
fly with the, or the shh, or the
Yeah. See, it's the language police, folks. Aren't sound effects great?
What?
So what? One
That
of
was
the
an accident.
things I was going to say that's very different about this show is the fact that you can be a part of this live via Skype.
You, the one viewer, which is really us. So
No.
no one's watching anyway.
Actually, when we started this show,
We
2
didn't
years
even
ago,
promo this yet.
we had
so
the
no
Skype
one
thing
knows.
going, and we talked with Ava
Tell
Gregory
me
and
more.
some other people, and anyway, so we want to do that again. We want to bring you onto the show via Skype. And so if you have Skype and you would like to be a part of the show, I know you're saying, well, how? We'll get to that. Fun with Bob and Lynn is our Skype ID. And you just call us, and it's going to disrupt everything. And you're going to hear burr, 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 because I haven't figured out a way to not let you hear that yet.
You're not going to hear that. I was
And
trying
then,
to do a Skype.
And then by clicking something that says warning signal.
Yeah.
It could happen.
And we have a winner!
Anyone who listens to this show.
That's right.
So Fun with Bob and Lynn is a way for you to Skype us and have a conversation with us, and then we'll bring you on in audio form. We are simulcasting again. One way is through Google Hangouts, so if you're watching this, you know that. And then the other way is Spreaker, which is audio.
Love it.
You will have a choice. Don't do both because there's going to be a delay and it's going to be,
Well, they could do both and mute their computer that's broadcasting the Google. There'll be a delay, but they could, you have choices. That's the point. We want you to have choices.
I just realized, this is going to be like radio.
Now it has zero
I know.
viewers.
We stopped watching.
So we
it.
actually did have a viewer.
I guess so.
Oh, crap.
Well,
they went, we're out of here. This sucks.
They're just getting their friends and family. That's all. They'll be right back. What does this say down here? Is this an active chat? No. Currently has no chat. All right, sorry about that. I know I tend to geek out a little, much to
Let's just
Lynn's
move
chagrin.
forward. We already lost. Oh, we have another viewer. Hi, viewer.
That's right.
So do we invite them to chat
Well-
with us or call in? If you want to speak and interact with us, then they're underneath where the audio thing you see on Fun with Bob and Lynn is an icon that says Skype and then a link that you can click on that will then connect you to us.
Ideally. I had some problems with that working on one of my browsers. So you can just go to you
Is
just
Skype
launch
open?
Skype and just
Is your Skype open
Yeah,
so you
it's
can
open.
receive the Skype call?
Of course it is, and it's set to receive.
Groovy.
All
We're
right.
set to receive.
So we'll just sit here and wait until someone calls.
Come on and call.
Yeah, and then we haven't told them why they would call. Why in the world would they call? Just to go, I exist.
No, if they just want to join in the conversation. And doesn't mean we'll
But the conversation
let
about
you
what?
join in the conversation. I'm kidding.
They're going to call up and say, I'd like to join the conversation about how your show's going to work, because I have some ideas and
since
opinions.
it's not working right now.
Lynn,
kidding.
that's just not true.
It so is true.
It's
But that's okay. This is our in a way, pre-launch show. We didn't do any real promo. We didn't even map out what we're saying at all. And we're speaking,
well, we never do that. I mean, that's
well, sometimes we go, well, we could talk about this, or it's obvious things we could talk about. Well, we thought, let's just, is this people who are watching?
no, those are just people who are logged into Skype right now.
Okay, got it. So back to us.
Because that's what it's all about, folks.
No, we just kind of speak into the moment. We thought, well, we could talk about XYZ or this, but sometimes we have an idea what we're talking about. We did want to get regular, to use your word, with the show and start broadcasting it. Now we have many fun adventures. This one we just wanted to begin to launch and just put out the word suddenly, and didn't even do real promo, but we will, and we'll also get more intentional. About
Admittedly,
it.
this is a show about the show. Not so
Yeah.
much a show.
Yeah.
The show is we just start talking, and that's it. And we are talking.
Ew. Oh,
So
is
it's
that
kind
what
of
they
a show.
call it?
Yeah, well,
So let's kind of actually we were talking about certain things that have been going on, of which has been a lot. Bob just got back from Atlanta and went to Chattanooga, and personally, I don't know about you, but I had no idea that Chattanooga have all this caves and crazy amazing stuff to see. And there's also this aquarium with like the jellyfish that look like aliens. I mean, they had this amazing, I'll speak like me now, but they had this amazing aquarium and
Still do.
cave adventure, and still do.
Yeah.
And so that's something that he could touch on. I just did an awesome event called Contagious Optimism. That's Cody, our dog, behind us. And some other topics we talked about, like gnomes, because there's like the scary gnomes place you visited.
Rock City, Tennessee.
So take
Rock
it,
City,
Bob. Open the conversation.
Well, so this would be, if you guys have been to Rock City, if anyone has been to Rock City in Chattanooga, you know if I say the 3 words "scary ass gnomes," you know what I'm talking about, and that might be fun just to kind of talk about that for people who have not been to Rock City, and because it's really actually very beautiful. But there's some creepiness in there, and I'm not just talking about the people who go, because it's a joke. But yeah, spent the weekend in Chattanooga with my son Max for my birthday, which was last week. Thank you. All the cards and letters and things like that were greatly appreciated, and I'm humbled. Thank you.
Yay.
So we went and had those adventures. So we did the Tennessee Aquarium, as Lynn mentioned, which was amazing, Rock City and Ruby Falls. And if you've done the Ruby Falls and Rock City thing, that would be an interesting thing. I never finished. It's a very important thing. If you're going to call in, what I'm saying now, you're
going to
hearing
call me or call in? Call
See
Lynn
what she did
or
there?
call in?
Do you see what she did there?
I did.
So if you're watching the Hangout, there's about a minute delay from what I'm saying from what you're hearing. We're not going to say this every time, okay? But the point is that when you get on Skype, when you call us, you're going to have to basically turn your radio down, like talk radio, because the delay, then there'll be a loop. So once we talk to you on Skype, you turn down the audio of your Hangout or Spreaker or whatever you're doing so you don't get the feedback and all that stuff. So we can talk about Rock City and
Rock City,
or whatever, anything about Chattanooga. If you've been to Chattanooga, we could kind of
let's just talk and see what happens. The thing is, this is ridiculously about nothing tirades or even just reflections. I even was thinking it'd be fun to. I know we touched on a previous radio show that I don't know that we aired.
Probably not.
We touched on Punta Cana because we had amazing adventures.
No,
there.
we haven't.
So we should
That's
talk
weird.
about that. Can you even screen share on this thing? Because there's like lots to
Yes,
show.
but I'm not prepared.
Oh,
I'm
darn.
sorry, I'm not prepared for that. But yes, we can for future
Oh my
reference.
gosh.
But of course, the Spreaker listeners won't.
We have to talk about training peacocks to jump up like dancing dogs.
Yep,
Talk
that's
about
great video
the
right there.
zip lining, ripcord zip lining. The dolphins. Talk about the dancing cooks. All sorts of fun adventures.
And we can actually show video. I mean, if we're prepared, which I guess there's something to be said for preparing something, we could have video clips ready to play,
Okay.
and do all that.
How's
But
it go again? Nice.
like that. That's the
Well, we can do that next
international
time.
sign for.
Way. Yeah, so, basically this is our really long preface to say our future shows will not be just this as completely about nothing. No, they will normally have some intentional content and interactive play and people,
and guests.
people that we get on board
Right.
because, we'll have promoted and planned. But this we wanted to say, you know what? We said we're going to do this every night, Tuesday nights at 7. If we have to do pre-recorded ones, we will. But we're going to do this on a regular basis now.
Yeah.
Because we have so many awesome shows, most of them audio to listen to. But so many awesome shows. Time to just do our thing and have fun with that. So this is almost like a way to do a show about the announcement and then have fun while you're at it.
Right, but I think a key distinction on this is now, since we're broadcasting from the studio rather than just like in our cars or from the mall, which I like those. I like the impromptu things, and I want to figure out a way to work them in. But since we will have this regular thing, we have the opportunity to do interviews with people, video,
Yeah.
audio, whatever, and share some of our friends and colleagues with you, and just in general, just do a show. It can be a little bit more than just about me and you all the time.
Hold your face right there. Move sideways. Move up. Right there. Okay, hold that. That is funny. because it looks like you have a thing coming out your nose right there. Anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, that's going to translate to audio. I can feel iTunes
no, but now you have to go to the
skyrocketing.
Hangout and see the video recording, right?
And we should talk a little bit about subscribers because we can.
Here's what he loves:
no,
is talking
this is
about the
subscri-
technology.
No, I'm not talking about. She's wrong.
No, go ahead. Talk about technology. Go ahead.
We're on iTunes.
Yes.
So go subscribe, and then that way you can download this brilliance to your phones and your computers and whatever else you want. So you will never, ever, ever, ever miss an episode.
Wow, I'm impressed.
You can subscribe basically to almost, I guess, all of them are up there at iTunes. So I guess you go to iTunes and you search for Fun with Bob and Lynn, and then there it is, and you hit subscribe, and wow.
I'm impressed.
I, too, am impressed, Lynn.
Okay, well, we actually talked about some things we could talk about, and now I completely do not remember what we talked about. Bam! Gone.
Well, actually, yeah, I'm sure you could. So I think what we need to do right now, Lynn, is kind of just forget that we're doing this. Like it's like erase that it's the
get
new
into
thing,
radio show
and
thing.
Just do what we do.
Okay, so we are not used to doing this where we're also filming. We've certainly filmed together a lot of times and things that we've even played with. But it is different to tune in, and we both come from a background of radio back in the day, so we know it's a different way of tuning in and how you then talk about whatever you talk about. So that's what he's suggesting.
Yeah, I think we're just a little self-conscious right now, that's all. Because we're sitting there looking at each
I'm
other.
not
We're looking
self-conscious.
a little.
I'm just thinking about
'Cause you're
making
not-
sure
it's
to
on
include
TV.
and look at the
Right.
people that we're talking to. But I'm not
Which is
self-conscious.
us, actually.
I'm conscious
just
of
to paint the
talking
picture,
to the
folks,
camera.
we're looking right at our own faces talking back to us. It's like we've got a mirror here.
Yeah.
And so we're just narcissistically looking at ourselves and listening to ourselves, going, wow, aren't we awesome? Everyone
one
should
viewer.
Everyone should subscribe to listen to the awesomeness that is us. But I would invite you, if you're here for the first time, to just check a few of the the previous shows. I think, which was the one with Rob? Was that Misfits? Or was
Misfits
that...
is a great show, though. I'm literally, if you saw my Facebook post, if you didn't, and you're hearing this through Spreaker, we have compiled shows where we talk about scary clowns, where we talk about which way to hang your toilet paper.
That was classic.
But actually, that was a really funny show. We also had one where we were walking in Halloween through, which I said earlier. But the people and characters that showed up, and we're going to do another one with Eli and Valjean this year. That was one of the things we said we'd talk about.
Yeah.
Is what should we dress up for Halloween?
That's right. We want you to do all the creative work for us. So 2 years ago when we did this, it's Tenuta, Tiny Tenuta and Goblin something or other. Whatever.
Yeah.
Is the broadcast from that. And Lynn dressed up like the comedian Judy Tenuta, and I dressed up like Tiny Tim.
You scarily looked like him. It was
well.
scary.
Somebody said I looked like a Slash.
You also looked like him.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was all fun and games.
If Slash
until...
and Tiny Tim had a baby, it would have been you in that costume, with a little bit of Austin Powers / Hick thrown in because of the teeth.
Yeah,
he was like, so.
Well,
rig tight.
They were, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So, but this year we didn't do really anything last year.
No, we were like, we blew it out the water that year before. We were like, we're taking it easy this year. But this year.
Let's go with that. That's why we did it. But this year, yes, we do want to do something really great. We want to, dress up, and we're going to go back to Santa Monica, apparently. And so
it's not Santa Monica, it's West Hollywood. Santa Monica Boulevard.
Sorry.
Not that it matters to anybody. I'm sorry.
I'm still an LA newbie.
I'm going to hide now. Because that was accurate. Santa Monica Boulevard.
Okay. What? Now I'm just...
Have you ever been there?
We need a sound effect of a train
you hear
derailing.
Something coming.
A train derailing.
And you speak up, and then you realize I shouldn't have said that because that wasn't helpful.
Train derailing.
I'm trying to find that.
We'll always have it at the ready because it does happen because we can be very ADD.
Black screen. Oh, now it suddenly came up. Go ahead.
Okay. But I've totally... Okay, so yeah, so we want to do another Halloween. And my only criteria is that I don't have a wig or something where hair gets in my mouth, because that completely destroyed my evening, didn't it? We had to, at some point, I've dressed as Tiny Tim. I'm kind of over it, There's a lot of people, and we've been there a while, and I'm doing the strumming thing, and now I'm hungry, and I want to go get something, and there's lines, everything, and then we get a sausage, right? So a sausage and a bun, and I'm
That's
trying to
what he
eat
calls
this.
it anyway.
So now, thanks. There aren't enough trains in the world. All right, so anyway, but then I'm trying to eat the sausage, and the hair getting in my mouth, and nobody, and well, that goes on a while. And nobody likes hair in their mouth. And that's the title of my new book. It'll be launched for holiday 2014.
Woo! That's a good one.
Watch your email. There's a big promotion around it.
That's him zipping up his pants.
No, it's not. That was a kiss.
It was a record scratch.
It was a record? Okay,
Like,
well.
name this sound effect. What was that?
A lion? A tiger?
I knew you were going to say that. No, it was a rocket launch.
That was a rocket launch. Okay.
What was that?
Someone going...
A slurp. Exactly.
Okay. No, wait a minute. We are not playing Guess This Sound Effect, are we?
No, well, we just kind of fell into that. We don't have to.
Fell into that. We have fallen Lynn to that.
All right.
More of the Lynn-sanity continues.
Linspiration.
Right. So, yeah, ideas. Now, obviously, the Skype phone is ringing off the hook. Not. But, yeah, so...
And again,
what do you...
if you're live right now...
I know, but this is so FM radio. So what are you going to be for Halloween? Hey, come on, call us up and give us some ideas. Best suggestion wins tickets to 2.
Well, here, how about this? Let's spark your possibilities. And you're probably listening to this as a replay because we've not even properly promoted, as we said,
Correct.
Other than our one viewer watching.
It's a practice run.
So, I know, it really is. But so right now we were thinking... We're going with our best buddies. They're like our soul couple. They're like in different ways, but like reflections of us. We just love each other. We have the best time. It's such a perfect pairing of couples. So ourselves and Eli and Valjean are going to West Hollywood.
So we're just keeping it
party. So we
person
were possibly thinking that we go as them and they go as us.
But there's not enough difference between the two
I know,
couples.
that's a little bit of a problem. And really, it would be such an inside joke that we'd look like we're going as normal people. But,
when nothing could be further from the truth.
Right. So that was an idea. Another idea was to go as, these two guys go as a sorcerer, a magician, or wizard, and we go as the magician's assistant.
I wasn't there for that decision.
Yeah. So, what do we go as? Because we want to do something fun or creative. We can do our own thing, but...
Yeah, highly creative. That's what I want. And just kind of cool and groovy. Just,
look, we lost another viewer. Now we're 0 viewers.
I don't always trust that, by the way. I don't always trust that number there.
Okay.
I don't.
He doesn't trust.
And it could be that maybe they're listening, audio-wise. Who knows? But why would you do that when you can watch us do this?
That would not be good. Just listening and saying that's what's listening to us.
You know what's great is a year from now, when we'll have gotten this all polished and all of our technically just boomity boom, and we're using graphics and all of that stuff, we're going to look back at this show and go, God, Lynn's teeth needed work.
It sure did.
And wait a minute.
It took me a long time. What did I find away? Kiss me. I'm talking to the dog. Sorry.
All right.
That was purely for us because no one's watching anyway.
Yeah. You don't have to keep saying that. There's this
I
law
don't
of
have
attraction
to. I
thing.
just
If you just keep saying it, if that's what you be.
Oh, no. Tons of people will be watching. I'm not even worried about it. We got so much going on.
The point is that we'll look at this and go, oh, we put that out there even as a test? Whoa.
Whatevs.
So, but retroactively, this will get more views than anything because a couple of years from now, they're going to be like, I wonder what they started like. And then we'll mention that one time, and then they'll go back and everybody will watch this. So you're watching this actually in the future.
But what we started like is actually far superior in our previous shows that were just done via Spreaker, that were just caught on the road or in the moment, you know.
Yeah, so I think that we need to still have that. Like, we just are live Tuesdays. We always do something live Tuesdays, but then we still do our spontaneous thing, and it's still posted, and it's still. It wouldn't be Hangouts necessarily because
it could be on the phone, iPhone, wherever we are.
But you can't do a Hangout on air on a phone, though.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I've been on Hangout on a phone.
But you can't start one.
Oh, that's sucky.
You hear that, Google?
I said
Lynn
sucky.
Rose said
I
it's
did.
sucky. So
I
let's stop working on that Google car and let's get this
sucky,
situation
sucky.
handled.
So you know what? Since we're like, oh, what should we talk about now? How about talking about what's right there? I cannot wait for Punta Cana Play. We are actually, if you listen to any of our previous radio shows, did we post any of the ones?
I don't think, there's no. The last one that's posted is Bug-Free Banter still.
Oh my gosh. Well, we had an amazing, maybe we'll do a specific one about Punta Cana Play instead of this one that's about nothing until Punta Cana Play.
Well, I think we should definitely do that. We should totally do that and have the clips and the pictures.
So we will do that, but I'll give you a quick little preview then. Okay, so our next show, we're going to share about Punta Cana Play and about the adventures too, because there's some freaking amazing adventures. I'll give you, but we decided to take an actual week off. And we worked our butts off in order to take a week off. It was cray-cray, you know. So, in fact, to the point of being so stressed by the time we left just to get everything ready to take vacation. But it was worth it because once we were there, I will at least speak for myself, I had a magical time. I think you had a great time too, but there were some things that were happening back home that were a little challenging during that period of time. So, but we'll move beyond that. We'll get into the joy of Punta Cana. Punta Cana is in the Dominican Republic, which is in the Caribbean. And I love it because it's a mixture of island, African-American, and Latin cultures. So the music is full of passion and that Latin music that gets you on a groove. They're singing, they're dancing, their spirits are full of life. They're fully expressed. That island feel. And it's one of the most stunning beaches I've ever been to, and I've been all around the world. And my vision of what the ideal beach looks like is what this beach looks like. And when I remember, and he can vouch for it, but when we got there and I was out by the beach, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Because I was just the beautiful open beach and the crystal turquoise waters, crystal clear turquoise waters and the thatched huts and tall palm trees. It was just amazing. So we just had a beautiful time by the water, and the resort was great, and so many choices as far as where you wanted to go for food. The dolphin experience we had was out of this world.
Yeah, I think we will. We'll do a whole little show on it because there's a reason. There's a reason. This is one case where we're not just doing this to talk about ourselves, because we are, and probably the only case in history, because we're inviting you to join us in January. Well, not all of you, just 20 of you. Well, not even 20 because we've already got some people in there, right? We're going for 20. Correct?
Well, yeah, we are going for 20. We do have.
Because we have excursions and things planned for all of you, and so there is a limited number. But we'll be talking about how that's all going to work, and how you can come. Cody is licking the microphone. That is awesome. That is awesome. He was licking the audience. He was sharing the Cody love with the rest of the audience because that's just what he does. Oh, that means Lynn's time is up.
No.
Anyway, so yeah.
But. What about at the dolphin experience, which if you come with us, oh my gosh, it'd be amazing because we're going to have such fun, but we're also going to set the context of play because one of the things we got was we work so hard, and if you don't build in moments of space and play, it riles up, and you feel like, and that kind of happened to both of us. And so it was definitely a reset button, a letting go of all the built-up stress and getting to a place of And I had so much energy rushing through me. I thought, what the heck is happening? But one of the other beautiful things we experienced was this afternoon at this Manatee Island Park. And the dolphins, it wasn't just be in the pool and let them swim by you and maybe you get to touch them or they kiss you and move on. We got to, they kissed us, they dragged us by their fins and we swam. They, did a little clapping with us. They swam by us so many times we got to pet them.
They did our taxes.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, that happened. Someone else did. But, but what was interesting is that the part where you grab by the fins and they go across the pool.
You're going to tell on yourself.
Pulled down my bathing suit bottom, so my bare butt was exposed to the whole audience that was watching, because there is an audience behind either those waiting to go or those that are just supporting those that are doing it. And so, hi.
And just like Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl, I missed that moment too.
You sure did. But it was a really beautiful experience, and the photos are amazing.
She's talking about in general, not the...
Anyway, it was an amazing experience.
My bathing suit bottom came down. It was a really beautiful experience.
Okay. And then we move on to zip lining, of which Bob was like, look at you with the stud muffin going on over here. He was like a natural with it.
I wasn't saying that, by the way.
Nobody was really like, yeah, owning his George of the Jungle-ness. And just, you were. And it was
which
like
I thought I'd left
natural.
at home, but as it turns out, it was in my back left pocket of the pants I was wearing that day.
Which I made sure to grab before you went on cable number 9. Anyway.
Ziplining was amazing. And I wish we... we're going to do the show, and we'll share our pictures and the video that we have and all of that.
But it's okay to give a quick little hint and overview, and then come back and really talk about it.
Well, neither Lynn or I had ever done ziplining to that degree. I had done one little mini zipline, I think, in Denver one time. But nothing like this. Nothing like as high up above in trees and rivers.
Through an actual jungle.
Right. Nothing even remotely like that. And so we were both very nervous. Lynn was super nervous. Like, really nervous. She went just before I did. And I knew that as soon as she got on there and rolled, 10 feet, she's like, okay, I'm doing it. And I'm, obviously not falling. Because you get it right away. Like, okay, this is cool. And they ease you through as you go from platform to platform. It gets a little more, in your head. Oh, this looks a little more challenging, or this is whatever. Some are faster, some are longer, whatever. It's just, but anyway, amazing adrenaline rush. And just to be able to, like that one that's the longest one, and you're going over the river and everything, and you're just way up there, and you're just...
But by that time, you've found your groove, and it is just pure adrenaline, joy, peace even. It's not, I'm a scaredy cat. That's part of why I do some of the work that I do, because I am all about without walls, and I get bombarded by walls that I have to constantly navigate with. And I do. So I'm able to dance with my fear and live my life full out. But in this, I was really scared. And I knew it would be fine. But even though I knew it would be fine, I just had that visceral response. And what was great was, like he said, literally, as soon as I finally took the leap in doing it, and they take you on a very easy one at first, so you find your groove, I was like, oh, I get it. That's like really easy. Like that's almost too easy, And anyway, the rest of it was great. So by the time you're at this major, mega, long, fast one, high above over the river, you're like cruising and loving it, and like, check me out, yay! And really just fun and beautiful.
Although you did start to get a little bit nervous again as you were doing the highest one, the one that was the tallest.
When we were going higher and higher and higher, not so much once we'd get on the line, it was just
the climb.
In the climb on this, little.
Because we have pictures of the panorama. You're really up there. You're really high in the sky. I don't know how many feet. Because we had to go way up into the mountains just to even go there. And just the trip to the mountains is a story in and of itself.
That was amazing to see the locals there, and as how they live. You're going through these villages and even up in the mountain through little teeny areas or broken down hut areas, whatever it might be. And some of these people that are living in abject poverty, just so full of life and love and running up to the bus and giving flowers. And it was really just, I mean, that entire trip, you just feel celebrated and loved and feel the heart of the people and the music and the environment. And this resort, we researched before we went, and upon going, I researched like crazy. I watched video after video after video after video after video after video.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah. So by the time we went, I really knew that place. But then I got to know it from a whole different place, of course. And it was just great. I loved it. I did not want to go. As
Nope.
he knows, I'm like, I think I want to live here. He's like, no. Let's just go when we go. So I was like, okay, we are bringing 20 people with us because we got to share in the joy and the adventure and the fun and the spirit of this place and the reset button that it is. Because I felt so transformed.
Well, when Lynn
that
and I
period of
first
time.
became friends, one of the first things we ever wanted to do was, this is 3 years ago or so, or 4, whatever it was, a long time ago.
As friends, he's living in Atlanta. I'm way out in L.A. We, just barely know each other from email, that type of thing.
And I wanted to do a retreat, and I put it out there via email, and she wrote back, and it was
Well,
funny.
he put out to his entire list saying,
Are you
I'm
interested in
wanting to
retreat?
do retreats. I'm looking for people that are wanting to do that too, that I could join forces with.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, that's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. In fact, I've got something I was looking at doing in Hawaii. Maybe we could join forces. So that we got into the conversation.
All right, and now, just 4 years later, we're actually doing it.
I know. Right. It's all good.
But and so and what's great is that it's pretty much already all planned out. I mean, Lynn.
Oh,
just
no, it's
once
not
again,
pretty much. It is
all planned out.
But planned out with open, free time for folks, too. We've got planned activities, the dinners, everything's taken care of. The whole package. That's what I love about it. From airfare to VIP private bungalow suite by the beach with the view to, 24/7 room service to all the meals, gourmet dinners. Not all dinners are gourmet, but we have one especially that's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
To the dolphin experience, to the zip lining, to the transfers. I mean, you name it, everything covered. So that, and we've got just a few little times along the way that we meet, so that we stay in this context of what having play with purpose. But beyond that, then there's open time for people, so you can have your own experience. Because I think that's real important, that you have that reflective time, or that if you want to just lie out by the beach, or if you want to go jog, or if you want to do another adventure that's your own, you can have that. But you also have this context of us all holding the space for each other and inspiration. And so, it's all set. And the site gets unleashed this week.
Very excited about that. So we'll be sharing that in earnest.
Yeah.
I think it's going to fill up like super quick.
Yeah, right away.
We're going to have put all this work into all of that, and it'll be like, boop, blip,
Done.
oh, done.
I know.
Okay, probably didn't even need the site. But
And the other thing is we can only do it at certain time. Like, this is the latest we could do it, which is this mid-January. And then I would not want to do it again until it was more like around the time we just got back from, which was in September. Because from January until about August or so is then
the busy season.
high season.
Yeah.
So we're right before the busy season kicks in. And you don't want to be there during busy season, because it's great to feel like you have space, too, in this place and not overrun by tourists.
Yeah.
So even though we may have such a high demand, we'll be like, okay, you can sign up for September.
Mm-hmm.
But we,
Or the Hawaii one we'll do in
yes,
April or May.
whenever we do. We'll find it. We've not worked that one out yet, but we can find that one out.
I'm just
easy
putting it
enough.
out there. I'm creating
love
the energetic space for Hawaii.
No, that's for sure. That's definitely
Because
happening.
that's a uke fest right there. That's ukulele.
That's going to be a
cowabunga.
lot more expensive, though, and that's going to be a lot more involved. So, but
Negative,
that's
no.
the great thing about Punta Cana is it's like so affordable for everything.
Get your passports.
Honest, I can't believe it. Everything. It's so freaking affordable. I told someone who's famous for being known as being all uptight about money, and when I mentioned to him how much it was, he was like, "Wow, that's really reasonable." I'm like, "I know." So I'm excited, Mister. No one's listening to a word I
audio,
just said because they're
audio
just
only,
watching.
Cody was licking my nose like ridiculously.
Like crazy.
And so on the Hangout, you see that.
So be it.
All right.
No, I'm serious. That's why I'm excited about Punta Cana. I mean, we've been there, we've lived there, we know the resort inside and out, the people that book it, the trips, everything that we're taking people on, we've experienced ourselves, and the deal of the century to go. And so I'm thrilled by this.
It's true. I'm super excited about it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, she was talking about going before we even left. This is not an exaggeration.
Well, because from what the research I'd done made me think, oh my God, this could be an amazing place for us to have our retreat. But we'll have to see once we're there. And once we're there, I'm like, okay, we are so bringing people here.
Yep.
Oh, can we talk about the thunderstorm?
Yeah, I wanted to. I wasn't sure that you.
I
was afraid
you. Oh, do. No.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and we have lots of thunderstorms there, particularly in the summer, spring and summer. And they get loud and big and close and just spectacular, you know. And I love thunderstorms. It's one of the things I miss about. It's probably one of the two things I miss about Atlanta.
Because number one is
my son.
Yeah.
And my daughter, my oldest daughter, too. All right, so there's a few things. but still, the thunderstorms, I do miss that because it does not rain here in Marina Del Rey very much.
Hardly ever.
So we had been told, you know, afternoon thunderstorms, they breeze in around 5 or so. They last 5-10 minutes, and then they move on. And, you know, that's a similar pattern to Atlanta and some other places like that. Florida, same thing. But so it's the middle of the night, right? I think it's around 1 or 2 in the morning or something like that.
And one thing to just say to preface is that we're in the tropics, and Dominican Republic just knows they're used to, not to the degree we're just about to share with you, but they're used to that a storm will come up or rain. It'll rain, but it'll last for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, and then go away.
Pretty much just said that.
Okay.
Exact thing.
All right. Go ahead.
So
Sorry.
we hear.
Clearly, I didn't hear that part.
We wake up to thunder in the middle of the night, and it's pretty loud.
Not just any thunder.
Well, I was kidding. I was
go ahead.
I'm building.
Build.
And Lynn's not used to thunder.
Not like that.
Yeah. And it's getting louder and louder and more frequent and closer, and just really like, when the lightning and the thunder happens at the exact, like it's right there. That's what started to happen.
But not even just like it's right there. This was like a severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, it was a big one, and that's what I kept saying to Lynn. I said, "I'm loving it." Meanwhile, I'm laying there just going, "I love this," and she's literally jumping, like the whole cling to me, and I'm kind of laughing because I'm loving it so much, and I know everything's going to be fine. And to me, it's like, this is so cute. She's scared, but at the same time, I'm thinking, because this happens all the time here, and this is no big deal. I was just like, well, that's cool. This is one of those big boomers, and that's it. And it took a while. It lasted for, I'd say, 15 minutes or so.
It went on a long time. And honest to God, it sounded like the sky was cracking open and falling upon you, and it shook the little private bungalow. They're like 2-story. They're truly bungalows. And, they have the glass, because they're just open to the tropics, the little easy glass double doors that open up. So they don't even really close all the way, if you will. So when the thunder is like, I'm like, holy cow!
Yeah, it's totally awesome.
But it was neat to go outside and then just watch and like that lightning come down like a true bolt with the big thunder hitting the sky.
Well, we thought also that the next morning we were going to wake up and there'd be palm fronds everywhere, from wind damage or whatever, and it really wasn't like that at all. It's like the island, the grounds themselves were fine, and but then Lynn, was talking to one of the.
Oh, I went up to one of the VIP Platinum concierge folks, and I said, "How long have you lived here?" And he said, 6 years. I went, 6 years. Okay, so. You heard the storm last night? Oh, yeah. I said, have you ever heard a storm like this? Is that normal? And he goes, I've never heard a storm like that. No. He said he'd never heard one that severe in all his 6 years. Then again, I talked to the guest services gal later that day, and she said, oh, yeah, it gets stormy like that. And I was used to it back where I used to live in wherever it was in the States. But I'm like, I don't know. That was pretty severe. When I was a kid, I lived in Pennsylvania with my grandparents, and they had some pretty severe thunderstorms, but I had never heard something like that. And I think it was worse because of the bungalows made you feel like you're almost outside while it happened.
Not to sway your decision in coming with us on January or anything. Actually, because September is the rainy season. That's when they said that you're most likely to get that kind of rain. So the chances of that happening in January.
Oh yeah,
probably,
no, it's actually going to be even better weather, and we had stunning weather while we were there. Every now and then, a little bit of shower came late in the day or early evening, and then it was gone.
Yeah, the weather forecast every day said 100% chance of rain every afternoon, and that didn't happen but once or twice.
That's
in the week that we were there. So
yeah, but yet it also historically says it only rains like 5 times in the every month in the rainy season. So I don't know, in the January, which is now when it starts to become like the awesome season to be there, I don't know, like, is it one time in a month that it rains? And even then, just know that it comes and goes. And you had wished that we'd experience a tropical thunderstorm while there.
probably.
Mr. Manifester.
I am.
He manifested
Don't
that.
you forget it, ladies and gentlemen.
He manifested that. Yeah. So, but that was great. I'm like, cool. He got to have his thunderstorm. I got to have my amazing weather and beach and all the other adventures. And
In the other show, we'll get to talk about your toe. But hey, so I know
don't
you've
know.
got
Oh, yeah,
you've got
I
a
forgot.
thing. You got a thing.
Well, what
and I
time
don't-
is it?
It's 7:48.
oh, okay.
So
Well, we should go. We were just testing, but we got to share with you a couple little adventures. Look ahead, because there's much more we'll share, and we'll actually maybe even project ahead what it'll be about. We like interacting, so we like kind of. We did a show once and we talked about rants and not rants. We talked about acronyms and coming up with an acronym around X, Y, Z, and then tune into the
that would
next
be a
show.
hard one. Xylophone, yodel, zoo.
No.
Go ahead.
Well,
I was getting ready to pull up the theme music underneath.
oh,
If we're winding down.
let's do our own theme music.
What?
Yeah.
You mean our own theme music? This is your music.
Well, I know, but
Oh, come on. Let's just keep it easy.
all right. Well, I guess. Hey, come on, everybody! Make sure you tune in next Tuesday at 7, when we'll have our next live show. Are you ready to go?
God, I thought this was the
Are
instrumental.
you tired and blue? Anyway.
Lynn wrote this song.
Ready to solve the mystery. Anyhow,
All right.
so we're going to share more with you, and we'll be a lot more intentional, tell you the topics we'll cover, get to interact with you. But we thank you and welcome you for coming and either watching the replay or live and seeing us as we now launch the consistent weekly show. And make sure you check out the archives, because we got all sorts of fun goodies back there in the archives.
And comment. Every archive
Yes,
has
please.
the opportunity for you to leave a comment. We love that kind of interaction. We really are trying to create a sense of community here, based around play and fun and getting to know one another. So it's a very
Yes.
interactive show. What we have here is the plan for we're all just playing together, It's not just us all the time. Like
Yes.
it has historically.
And even if it is us, it's all good. No, it's not
All right.
just us. It's all together.
Or just us.
Or that.
Yeah.
Or
Good night, everyone.
Bye. Millionaire's Code with Bob
you
and
can't-
Lynn.
Now, how am I going to fade it if you keep singing?
With Bob and Lynn.
I'll try this one.
Ooh.